you go out and buy their structured settlement for cash, a lump sum. Is the money they're receiving now still tax-free?
Yes, the lump sum they receive from us is also tax-free. That is correct.
So there's really, everything is to their benefit here. If they're in a position where they are needing of cash,
yes,
there's no harm done to them, and you now are really almost acting as a financial advisor, so to speak, in helping them get their lives in order with situations that may have arisen.
I wouldn't want to portray myself as a financial advisor.
No, you did. I did.
but I guess the way to put it is we're good mathematicians. We know we can figure out what's coming in and what's going out, and if we see a problem, we tell them about it. And we offer suggestions where it would be to their benefit to do it rather than to their detriment.
Now tell me, who else might be in a position of receiving payments that would be of interest for Client First to make an offer to as far as purchasing?
Excellent question. There are two other categories that come to mind. There's a lot of people today that are that have their own self-owned private annuities that they've purchased in the past and are getting an income and stream. And for various reasons, whether it's the hard economy or having lost money in real estate or the stock market or just a lack of liquidity, the private individuals that have their self-owned annuities always seem to have the option of approaching the insurance company and finding out what the current cash surrender value is. And that's been the method and vehicle that people utilize when they find themselves in need of cash and they own a private annuity for their own investment. Many times we find that we can pay more than the cash surrender value, and so we encourage everybody that's in that situation before they cash it in to check with us first so that they can see if we can put more money in their pockets, and in many situations we can, not always, and if we can't, we tell them, and if we can, we offer it to them.
Well, let me throw out an example there, because being in the life insurance industry, we do sell annuities.
Yes.
I've never been a huge fan of annuities. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're not ready for this slide yet, so let's take that off. But I will tell you that the reason being is because many people that have these annuities really don't need them for income. They have been looking to put monies in the stock market or various types of investments and accumulate, only to find that they're going to have huge tax ramifications down the road, but then they're locked in because the only way to get out is to pay tax. A lot of them don't want to. But as a result of what's taken place with the stock market and so on, many people have lost money in their annuities. And as you said, there is a surrender value to them. But I suppose what you're going to do is look to annuitize that vehicle and see what the payments are if you were to buy it. And if that amount of money is able to create a purchase price to them that's greater than what their surrender value is, then by all means, that's when you're interested in purchasing that annuity. So it becomes a wonderful way, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, and I know there's many people out there that are in this position, that have owned annuities for years, that have not done well with some of them, those that have been in the market. And here is a secondary strategy, so to speak, another exit strategy other than what the traditional ways of exiting an annuity are within the life insurance company. It's Client First that can make that offer.
Yes, and I can also point out a couple of other things that pertains to the people receiving payments on a structured settlement or private owners of annuities that may want to look into this. There's no cost or expense ever charged to either group, whether it's the structured settlement people, that the plaintiffs that are receiving these payments. The offer that we make to them, that's the amount of money that we put in their pockets, and the people that are holding these privately owned annuities that can be annuitized, and then I can give a bid. there's no price for inquiring, and there's no fees or costs or anything associated.
The bid is the bid, and
bid
that's
is the
it.
bid, and so they have everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Well, let me throw out one other type of person as well with an annuity, which would be there are many people that had purchased immediate annuities. And this is where you give a lump sum of money to an insurance company, as a private person now, we're talking, a private annuity, and they guarantee to pay you X amount of money for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, or sometimes based on your lifetime. But people going into this really are doing it because they don't know how long they're going to live, and they want to be guaranteed that this amount of money that they put in will last over that period of time. But as you say, situations change. And the only negative aspect of what we call an immediate annuity is the liquidity factor. There really is no liquidity factor to it from the insurance company. There is no surrender value.
Right.
Once you give them that money, that's it. They are going to pay you over time. You come along now and can offer that liquidity feature.
Absolutely. We would just take a look at the payments that are remaining and make them an offer. And I believe it would be an attractive offer, and it's up to them to decide if they want to move forward or not.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's very important for you all to realize that one of these types of categories may fit you, whether you are an owner of an immediate annuity and your situation has changed. What you once thought 8 years ago may be completely different today. You do have the ability to exit. There is an exit strategy. You call Client First, you let them look at the situation, they're going to make an offer. It's up to you whether you like the offer or not. Number two, people that have traditional deferred annuities who may be underwater. And if you are underwater, I think you know what I mean and who you are. And there again, you have the ability to take a surrender value, cash surrender value from the insurance company. But before you do, you also have an option, again with Client First, to see if you can receive more money by selling that annuity over to Client First. And then, of course, the initial ones that we talked about were the personal injury cases where people were set up with these cash flows so that that money would be there for them. But like you said, situations change and you are there. And there are many people, I would assume, that don't even know that there's an option like this that exists, that you're out there that can help them get money up front.
We do speak to people on a regular basis that had no idea that this option was available to them, so they're normally very happy when they hear it. And just to point out a couple of other features that we can offer as well. In many instances, there's a guaranteed period where payments are coming in for a finite number of years, whether it's the 20 years I mentioned earlier or the 30 years. But then there's also a life contingent component. That's and you reminded me when you mentioned that pertaining to the annuities. So there's a life contingent component, and we're actually able to buy those payments as well by using a life insurance policy that would cover if we bought more payments than were available if the person didn't live as long as the payments we bought. We purchased a life insurance policy. So many times people like to sell those payments. They're far in the future, and we have no problem liquidating those either. So anybody that's in that situation, we're
so
also
life contingent, again, that's another big marketplace.
Yes.
And I would assume, if you really want to talk about people that don't know that they're able to liquidate, that would be the person that would have no idea, because they think that because if they pass away, those payments stop, they'd have no idea that you're still interested.
Exactly.
Let's talk about one more factor in this whole space, and that would be lotteries.
Yes, correct.
Now, somebody wins a lottery. I guess there are certain states that don't offer lump sums, and they are going to receive a check for 20 years or 25 years, or maybe there was a lump sum option, but they didn't elect it when they bought the ticket, whatever it may be.
Right.
How does that fit into this whole settlement industry?
It's very much similar. There's statutes throughout the country that also govern the assignability to a third party through court order. And it's the same concept where money's coming in over time. And lottery winners, just like other people, you would think if they win the lottery, that's going to be adequate, but many times it's not, because they have bigger plans. They want to share with their families. So they have the ability to come to us and sell partial interest or full interest in their lottery payment streams, just like the people with the structured settlements. And I actually began in this industry in the early 90s, focusing on strictly
lotteries was the main thing.
Lotteries were the main thing. And in answer to your question, there's roughly 9,000 lottery winners nationwide receiving payouts over like a 20 or 25-year period of time. And some of them did, the ones that are made up of a couple of different categories. People who actually, when they purchased the ticket, decided they wanted the payout rather than the lump sum. And then there are states like New York and Massachusetts that have scratch-off tickets that have games that only pay it out over time. They don't have a lump sum option, and there's winners almost every day in that category. So those people seem to have a big interest in getting all or part of their money. And these particular sellers, whether it's structures or lotteries, it's not like, first of all, it's not all or nothing, and it's also not just a one-time option. We have many people that over a period of time do more than one transaction with us as a different need might arise in the future. So it's just a matter of what the needs of the individuals are. We're there to satisfy it. A lot of times, in all instances, we believe at the end of the day we're improving the quality of their life.
Well, you're providing a tremendous service for people.
Yes.
There's no question. You know, I got to tell you, I don't know if you realize, we've just gone through the whole show.
All right.
Okay, and I'll tell you what I like, two things about it. Number one, I enjoy bringing to the public something new that they may not be familiar with, and it's something certainly that you offer. I'm fascinated by the industry. And I will tell you, I think you're the first guest that I've had on the show where I didn't get a chance to talk about my business at all, Burt.
I apologize.
But that's okay, because I thought this was great. I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me one thing, though, because we didn't get a chance to say it, but I love that phone number of yours.
Okay, well, it's 1-866-USA-MONEY.
USA Money. Bring me the money, show me the money, USA.
Absolutely.
One more time.
Thank you, Howard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Burt Kroner with us. It's a fascinating industry. I didn't even get into the things that we do on another end for many other viewers that may be watching. But call us at 800-DIE-RICH, because what I will share with you is how to be now a consumer of structured settlement annuities, where you can actually purchase some of these programs if you're interested, and in lieu of CDs, T-bills, different things like that, fixed instruments, and you'll be fascinated how these programs really can work for your situation. Once again, we didn't even get a chance to get into You Buy, You Die, It Pays, but it's up on your screen. Call us at 800-DIE-RICH. We will send you a complimentary copy going through many of our concepts on discounting estate taxes, life insurance, annuities, and everything. I'm Howard Kaye, asking you to be sure to be with us next week when we tell you more secrets of how to die rich and live rich.